The House of Representatives is considering a daily minimum wage increase for all private sector workers that is higher than the 100 peso wage hike proposed by the Senate, including a bill seeking a 350 peso hike. In a statement, House Majority Leader Manuel Jose Dalipe says the Chamber's members arrived at a consensus that the Senate-approved 100 peso wage adjustment might not sufficiently meet the needs of the workers. Dalipe adds that Speaker Martin Romualdez has tasked the House leadership to find ways to enhance workers' take-home pay, including a legislated wage hike or revisions in the Regional Wage Board mechanism. The House Committee on Labor and Employment is set to look into several pending measures on pay increases on Wednesday, among which is a draft law by Deputy Speaker and Trade Union Congress of the Philippines Party List Representative Raymond Mendoza calling for a 150 pesos across-the-board wage adjustment. Moreover, Dalipe says that members of the chamber were recommending a legislated wage hike ranging from 150 pesos to 350 pesos a day, which would more appropriately address the significant decline in workers' real wages and their diminishing purchasing power. Meanwhile, Deputy Majority Leader and Iloilo Representative Janet Garin earlier said that increasing the daily minimum wage by up to 350 pesos would be possible once the country is open to foreign investors. Both the Senate and the House are working on a bill that would amend certain economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution to help attract foreign investors. The Philippine Coast Guard accuses its Chinese counterpart of jamming the signal of the tracking system of Philippine ships during recent operations in the West Philippine Sea. PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, says they have observed that there were instances wherein the vessels could not transmit their automatic identification signals during the rotational deployments this month by PCG and Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources ships at Bajo de Masinloc. This incident has briefly prevented the vessels from broadcasting their positions at sea. The automatic identification signal transmits a vessel's position so that they could be identified and located by other ships. They are also trackable through ground stations and satellites. Tariela assumes that the jamming is done every time China releases statements that they repelled the Philippine vessels. China and the Philippines have engaged in aggressive information warfare in recent weeks as they both assert sovereign rights in the South China Sea. Gilas Filipinas bagged its second win at the Fiba Asia Cup qualifiers after beating Chinese Taipei by 53 points. Gilas Filipinas played with a relentless pace on Sunday night, picking apart visiting Chinese Taipei for a 106-53 victory. The triumph also gave the Nationals a 2-0 lead in Group B of the Continental Showcase. Justin Brownlee annexed a second brilliant performance, this time tallying 26 points and 13 rebounds at PhilSports Arena in Pasig City that was filled to the rafters. Kai Soto delivered 18 points and 8 rebounds in the triumph that gave the national basketball program a rousing start for its 4-year grand plan of returning to the FIBA World Cup, which will next be held in Qatar. The 2-0 start, which included a victory over Hong Kong, gave national coach Tim Cone and his Chargers momentum heading into the Olympic qualifying tournament in July, where Gilas will try to utilize to crack the Summer Games that will be staged in Paris, France in August. Mariel Padilla apologizes to the Senate for receiving an intravenous treatment while inside the office of her husband, Senator Robin Padilla, as she clarified that what she had was a vitamin C drip and not glutathione. In a statement, Mariel Padilla apologized to other senators and the staff of the upper chamber, claiming it was not her intention to undermine the integrity and dignity of the Senate. Padilla clarified that what she had was a vitamin C drip, not glutathione, and that it was administered to her by a professional nurse who was supervising the treatment. She added that she was in the Senate on that day to show her support for her husband, whose Eddie Garcia bill passed the third and final reading. Mariel Padilla earlier drew flack after posting a photo of her conducting a gluta drip session at the Senate office of her husband. The post was taken down right away after it was criticized by netizens. Meanwhile, Senator Robin Padilla also apologized, saying that they did not intend to disrespect anyone with the post.